Welcome back, familia, to Northside LDN. Ya sabe como es. I'm over here right now. I've got a special guest, Jez. I'm currently in Lisbon, getting my passport, getting my documents done. But listen, we're here with Jez. How you doing, Jez? How's it going?
All good, man. All good. Yeah. Yeah, it's lovely in the UK currently. Nice 19 degrees today. So it's all looking good. It's all promising. It's all promising with everybody hyping it up that Arsenal with Mr. Arteta, we're going to get fourth and bang it in the Europa Champions League. And the other thing today is that Arsenal are looking to have a massive clear out of 12 players who are currently coming to the end of their terms, contracts, etc. So we got rid of 6 players in the transfer window, January, didn't buy anyone. And now we're looking to get rid of 12. So that's 18. So that's most of the squad. So I'm thinking, well, obviously, if we get Champions League, then there's going to be about a £300 million budget thrown into Arteta to replace the whole squad. Interesting.
Yeah.
I like what I'm hearing. Is that going to happen? No. Let's get it right. That ain't happening. Now, we need to get rid of some dross. Let's be fair, Northside. We really need to get rid of some dross. You know, and the people hate it because I'm not one of the populace of Arteta. We have a very poor striker who basically achieves, well, how many goals? 4 goals? 4 goals? In Lacazette.
Yeah, 4 goals.
Pretty poor statistic. And I, you know, when our Odegaard was here last season, I didn't rate him one bit. I've turned, this is the one thing I will always say. If I say a player I don't think is any good, and he proves me wrong, I will say fair play. And I can honestly say to you, my hand on my heart, when Thierry Henry first joined Arsenal, the first season he joined, he was not very good. He was a left winger. Wenger, in his heydays, and I say his heydays, not his latter days, transformed that guy into a world-class striker. And we've all seen it, and is what it's all about. So, but I don't believe that Arteta, personally, can actually achieve those goals. And, you know, people are going to hate me for it, but, you know, I've been at Arsenal for a long, long time. So, there you go.
That's it. You said it with your chest. I mean, that's what it's all about. So, people, listen, you know, Jez has said it. I'm sure he's been watching football for a lot longer than all of us that are subscribed to my channel, including myself. So, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we don't go with what's popular. We go with what we see, and our eyes don't lie to us. And we say it as it is. But listen, before we get into the headlines, Jez, each headline I read out, I want to get your opinion, and then I'll have my opinion. Let's run the intro, and then we'll get straight into the first headline, Arsenal being linked to Dybala. Right. The first headline, Arsenal being linked to Dybala. It's coming from Football London. Obviously, we are looking out for a striker. Jez, what do you make of this? Juventus, obviously, I think he's in his late 20s now. I think he's about 26 or something like that. How old is he? Yeah, he's a 28 years old, Argentinian international. 21 appearances, 8 goals, 5 assists in this Serie A. In the Champions League, he's got 5 appearances, 3 goals and 1 assist. And in the Italian Cup, he's had 2 appearances, 2 goals. So overall, his best stats are in the league, 21 appearances, 8 goals, 5 assists. He's been valued at about £40 million. What do you think? Would you like to see Dybala at Arsenal?
No. Personally, no.
Why not? Why not?
Look, let's get it right. Let's get it right, Northside. Arsenal Football Club. We've bummed around with low-level people for so long. Let's put it aside. Let's go for the big boys. Now, I know that's going to be very, very, very difficult for Arsenal because with the new summer transfer coming up, there's a lot of big players in there looking for strikers. Now, if we have to, I don't want to be in the position where we've got to look at second tier. I want first tier. I want proper players. The players that Arsenal once used to be able to attract. But can we do that with Arteta and the likes of Vinay and Edu, who basically just spout bullshit? I'd rather we actually went for the big boys. And, and I'm not talking about people like Haaland, because he's never going to come here. He's going to go Man City for sure. So let's look around. And I saw something earlier that Arteta and Edu have a striker hot list. I don't know what that is. I really don't. I'll be honest with you, mate. I'd take Ivan Toney. Seriously.
I would take Ivan Toney. And I would also take, I don't know if you know much about him. He's a striker at Benfica. He's from Uruguay, same country as Suarez. He's Darwin Núñez. He's got 20 appearances in the Portuguese league with 21 goals. And in the Champions League, I think he's got about 6 appearances, 8 goals in the Champions League. That is a type of player. I mean, he's 20. I think he just turned 22. So he's younger than Dybala. And his stats are better. And yeah, some people may say the Italian league is harder than the Portuguese league. You still got to do it, And, Ruben Diaz came from the Portuguese league. João Felix came from the Portuguese league. James, the Colombian midfielder, he came from the Portuguese league. Do you know what I mean? Falcao, when he was smashing it up, he came from the Portuguese league. So, I don't look down on the Portuguese league because when it comes in terms of scouting, the Portuguese league is very good. A lot of South American players that don't get into the Spanish teams come to the Portuguese teams and they seem to do well. Luis Diaz, that's went to Liverpool. He's come from the Portuguese league. Look at him. Look how good he's doing in the Premier League. So for the money that would pay for Dybala, which I think would probably be about 80, 70 mil, put it into Darwin Núñez, 22 years old. And his stats are better.
Exactly. I totally agree with you, man. The thing is, one of the things we lost with Arsene Wenger, and don't get me wrong, Arsene Wenger stayed too long. He made great success at Arsenal. We all know that. We know the history. But one thing Wenger had was a great inroad to young French talent, which he had the ability to bring in to Arsenal. And we had those great players. And he nurtured them. And at his peak, Wenger was one of the best managers in the world. We can't deny that. The competition between him and Sir Alex Ferguson was something special. But can I accept and believe that Mikel Arteta has that pulling power? No, I don't believe he has. Because, and I'll say this, and I know people will be on here shouting and screaming and crying. He doesn't have the experience. He's a very arrogant man. He's proved it with players that have left the club under a cloud. And there's a few of them. Let's get it right. And he doesn't have that personality or that ability to say to a player, I'm going to pop this out of, this is a stupid thing, but I'm going to make a comparison. If he was to go and say to Haaland, I really want you to play for and play for Arsenal up against Pep Guardiola at Man City, or too short at Chelsea, what do you think is going to happen? He's going to and let's say Edu turns around and says, well, we'll give you 300 grand a week. Yeah, 300 grand a week. And then Man City say, well, we'll match it. Says it all, doesn't it?
Exactly. This is what I mean. At the end of the day, we're in a position right now that
It's funny, this guy here, Chelsea.
Like you said.
Just on a slight, Chelsea are the biggest club in London. Shut up your mouth, Jez. Well, mate, when you've won more FA Cups and league championships than Arsenal, then I'll shut my mouth. But until then, mate, fuck off.
Well, this is it. Listen, straight block for that. There's no need. I mean, it's just ridiculous. We're not even going to give you any shine. I'm not putting up your comment. Any rudeness, you're just getting kicked out straight away. Listen, we don't all need to agree, but you can disagree in a respectful way. Do you know what I mean? So, listen, exactly. It is what it is.
This is the thing, mate. The other night, when we were doing those player ratings and everything, Kenny and that. Now, Kenny is the loveliest man you'll ever meet. Lee has his opinions, you know that. I have my opinions. Yeah. But why do people have to get so upset because you don't agree with them? This is a world where people in a democracy are allowed to have their say. So
freedom of speech.
It's pathetic. Do
you know what it is, Jez? Do you know what it is? Like when you ask these people, they can't debate. So the best thing they can do is call you toxic or call you negative or start calling you names or things like that. Because on this channel, even though I'm Arteta out, I always have the special guest, which is Fuad. And Fuad is on all the time. Do you know what I get? Oh, you're bullying him. Oh, you're this, you're that. I said, okay, cool. If you think I'm bullying him, put your camera on, put your microphone on. If you don't agree with what I say, here's the link, jump on. And most of these Arteta ins never jump on. Never. I can count on one hand how many times they jump on. And yet they say, oh, well, they disagree with our opinions. It's not our fault that people like you, people like me, people like Lee, that are Arteta out, we've got the balls to say our opinion and give our opinion and really say how we feel because we love the club. Nothing we say benefits us directly. Do you know what I mean? Arsenal failing or Arsenal winning, it doesn't directly, it gives me happiness. But really in my life, everything else is moving forward. We speak from the heart. We're not a paid employee of the club. We're not making money off the club. We're just fans that love the club passionately. That's all. And that's what I just find funny. If you disagree with me, give me an argument as to why I'm wrong. Give me actual disagreement, but don't do it in a disrespectful way. But listen, Jez, we're not even going to give them any opportunity, any time. You're just getting blood. Internet's running a little bit slow. Sorry, people, if my internet's running a bit slow. I am out in Lisbon at the moment, so I'm not at home. Next headline for you, Jez. I want to get your opinion on this one. Looks like if Kylian Mbappe goes to Real Madrid, Arsenal can move in for Asensio, Marco Asensio. What do you think about him, Real Madrid midfielder?
Yeah, I actually think he's decent, to be fair.
Yeah.
And, we need to seriously strengthen our midfield. Let's get it right. We've got Xhaka.
Yeah.
So let's get rid of Xhaka, and I hope he's one of the 12 we're going to clear out because he wanted to go to Roma. Arteta, oh man, stopped him from going. Because they're obviously in bed together. Get him out, get him in. Let's do the business and move on. And I can't say more than that.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, if we look at his stats aren't that bad. Hold on, let me share the other one with his stats. Here we go. Marco Asensio, Real Madrid midfielder, Spanish international, 26 years old. So he's getting on a bit. I remember when he first burst into the scene. His appearances are 24 appearances in La Liga, 8 goals, no assists. In the Champions League, he's had 6 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. Copa del Rey, 2 appearances, 1 goal. And the Super Copa, 1 appearance, no goals or assists. He can play as a left winger, right winger, or attacking midfielder. But I think once again, when it's really needed, up against Aston Villa, another crunch game, he just didn't really do it for me. And he's done it for a while, but I just think Odegaard was only sold to us because Real Madrid didn't really want him. If they really wanted him, he wouldn't come to Arsenal. Some people may disagree with me, but I rate players when of them being consistent, not just turning up when you want to. Every player has his day. Zaha has days where he plays excellent, but how many games out of the season does he actually turn up? Do you know what I mean? And that's what makes you world class. World class players turn up week in, week out. I don't want a player that turns up once in a while, and that's what I see with Odegaard. So
I think
I'd rather have Asensio.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the one thing I will say, last season when we had Odegaard on loan, I thought he was absolutely pony. I really did. But I have to say, and I've always said this: if a player, when we've got 11 players on the pitch, I will give them the ultimate support, my heart and soul. Apart from a couple that one has disrespected the fan base and told us to do one. And that's the polite way of saying it.
Yeah.
But when a player proves to be wrong, and I have to be fair, Odegaard, I think this season has done a couple of good games. A couple of good games.
Yeah.
A couple.
Yeah.
Now, for a midfielder of where he is, he should be banging more goals. That one game where he scored that goal, he actually made his forward run. The problem with Odegaard, I see, he makes a run, he passes the ball and stands back. He doesn't continue in. Now, that great goal that was scored, that was because he continued his run, and he needs to do more of that. But I question whether he will. Now, I also make this point, mate. Is that because of Arteta's tactics? I don't know. You don't know. Nobody in the chat knows. Is it because he wants him to control and then pass, hold in a holding midfielder role in case there's a breakout from the opposition team? I don't know. Look, I'm not a tactician. I've never made myself out to be. I don't know a lot about tactics in football. Personally, I was never a great player myself, so I can't really give you a valid argument. But all I see is that player has improved, in my opinion.
Yeah, he definitely has improved, 100%. I don't think there's any denying that. But is he a player that can give us, 80% of the season playing the way he played against Watford, against Leicester? Is those are the performances we're going to see for the majority of the season going forward? Or is it only going to be, half the season or a couple of games? Because if that is the case, we need an upgrade. That's all I'm saying on it.
Well, I mean, I agree with you on that one. But, if I've got a player, a midfielder that we've spent that money on, then I expect to see a lot more top-class performances than that. Now, can I just move on to Partey? Thomas Partey, everybody, whoa, next Vieira, whoa, it's all great. It's only since he's come back from the AFCON, he's actually started to look after a player. Now, and I'm happy to see that. So what has changed there? His previous striking ability was pathetic. Let's be right. It was pathetic. He couldn't even hit a barn door from 5 yards. But all of a sudden, I maybe he's been working on it with a coach. I don't know, but that guy seems to be just stepped up to the next level, which I'm happy to see. But people were calling it out that, oh yeah, he's going to be the next Vieira. Well, you've got a long way to go to make his make into his boots. But I always want to see players improve and step up to the next level. Unfortunately, we have a lot of players that are never going to achieve that.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I mean, you know what? Whatever everybody feels about Odegaard, we need 2 players in each position. That's how you can compete in all fronts. You need 2 players minimum in each position. And at the moment, we do look at Smith Rowe, but how can you have 2 positions if we've got number 10 as Odegaard and Smith Rowe? We need somebody of experience, and most of the time Smith Rowe gets played out on the left, so it looks like Arteta prefers him more as a winger, even though I prefer him more as a number 10. So we need somebody, every position, whether it's striker, midfield, whatever it is, we need somebody that's learning on the job and somebody that's an established player. And that's how you create competition. Because if Odegaard drops his thinker or drops, his level like he did against Aston Villa, in my opinion, after playing so well against Watford and Leicester, you now have a world-class midfielder or world-class number 10 that's going to take his place instantly. Do you know what I mean? And that will keep him on his toes because he knows he's got that other world-class number 10 breathing down his neck. He can't afford to give 5s or 4s out of 10 because then your position is, up for the taking. So that's all I got to say. I don't know if Asensio is going to be the man. That's who we're linked to. I always say to people, let's take it with a pinch of salt. All these links, we know Arsenal get linked to every player on the flipping planet. And it is what it is. There's another headline and this player constantly gets linked to Arsenal. I want to know what your opinions on it, Jess. Here we go. Where is he? There he is. Everton transfer development offers Arsenal hope that they can sign Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And it seems like these links aren't going away. Jez, what would you make of Dominic Calvert-Lewin?
Yeah, I think he's all right. Do I want him at Arsenal? Well, I would hold back on that statement because I think we need to shop around a little bit. It's all right, all these continual links, like the classic Awar, that's been going around for like 18 months, this, that, and the other. We need to actually step back a little bit, and actually assess what we can get, because Calvert-Lewin, he's a decent player. Don't get me wrong. But in my book, there's a damn sight better player than that. And all this continual, we're linked with him, we're linked with him. I mean, it's a classic one, wasn't it? With Suarez. We're going to get Suarez. And Arsenal sit there being arseholes, whatever they offered and £1. Let's stop all this nonsense. Let's stop all this linking to people. We see it every single day during the transfer window. Arsenal linked to him. Draxler, another classic. How many years did Draxler go on for?
I forgot about that one. I was thinking about Benzema. The Draxler one, that was every summer. Every summer we're listening.
Yeah, what I'd rather see in Arsenal, unfortunately, I don't think there is the structure and the depth of expertise and knowledge, maybe, that Edu, Vinay, Garlic Head, and Arteta can actually sit down and say, well, this is what players we need. If we get fourth, right? If we get fourth, and that's a big if at this point in time, then we are going to need to step up to the plate and we are going to need a major investment. Now, I saw on Lee Gunners' channel earlier that these 12 players that possibly could go because their contracts are ending, and all this and that. Now, if their contracts are up and they can walk out for nothing, that's a big problem, massive problem. That means then there's got to be major investment. Are we confident that the Cronkies will say, we're going to release the money for this and that and the other. Now, this is one of the big things that people get wrong with the Cronkies. They do not get out their big fat wallets and throw on the table a couple of million. It comes out of the Arsenal bank account. The Cronkies have never, ever, and you can, if you don't believe me, people, go and look at the Arsenal financial states, which you can do online. You can do that. Go to Company's House and have a look at the investments of Arsenal. It all comes from the revenue from Arsenal Football Club. Yeah. So Mr. Crocs, Stan and Joss aren't going to sit there and suddenly say, "Oh right, well we've got to get is 350 mil." Now my second point on that north side is this: Mikel Arteta has spent £250 million, more than any other manager in the last 2 years. And what has he bought? What has he bought? And I was having this discussion. I was having this discussion with some mates of mine up from around Highbury and around there at the weekend. And who was the last player we ever bought? I would say Alexis Sanchez was probably the last world-class player we ever bought. So I'll leave it.
Nah, facts, Jez. Bobby, how you doing? You all right, mate?
Good. Nice to meet you, Jez, as well. Hi, guys. It's an interesting point you just raised there as well, Jez, in terms of he spent £250 million on players. But the one thing that gets me is people forget about how much value the players that we've let go of have dropped. So we look at, let's say, Aubameyang now. His market value within the space of 4 months has gone from us paying £12 million compensation for the remainder of the year so we can go for free. So we've lost out. And now he's back up to £35 million at this age. That's £35 million. You've got Guendouzi, who's still a French national, who went for £8 million. And that was from Emery, it was what, £40 million. So you've got a player that's depreciated £32 million there. You've got, I don't see Saliba realistically coming back into this team, but realistically, when you look across that team, it's depreciated in value probably about £300 million from the time of us.
Yeah,
so he's actually spent, when you weigh it up like an accountant, he's probably spent and wasted about £600 million, and that's what people don't understand. And when you go back into this summer now, and we look at the players you're going to get rid of again, you look, he's not far off being $1 billion in the hole. That's my honest opinion. He won't be far off. By the next year, he would have had and spent over $1 billion. Like, I know it doesn't seem like that, but he won't be far off, like losing £1 billion worth of value. And the players he's brought in, like you said, who was the last world class one? Sanchez. I'd probably say. And this is the other thing, we can get Champions League, but who's to say he can manage big time players? He can't manage their egos. So what's going to happen?
Oh, mate, I'll tell you, I mean, every point you just made is exactly what I've been thinking. You've been reading my brain. I swear to God, that's total class comment. This guy has proved the fact he can't handle people with an ego. Guendouzi, Aubameyang. Now, I don't agree with everything Aubameyang has did. As a senior player and captain of the team, turning up late, doing all the things he did, is disrespectful to the club and disrespectful to the manager. And I appreciate that Arteta had to do a statement. But if that had been Tuchel, Pep Guardiola, or Klopp, they would have handled that in a different way, in my belief, because of their experience of man management of players. And let's be honest, in all of their teams, they've got different people. They're not nobody's the same. The three of us here all would need to be managed in a different way. Yeah. And unless you've got those management skills and a good team behind you to deal with those issues, then you have problems. But I think personally, having seen Arteta play as a player and having seen him on the touchline, the way he talks to players and the way he all this windmill nonsense, all this crap. I just think the players get pissed off and they get, the fact that they don't have a game plan. I've never seen a game plan from Arteta yet. So unless we can get a top flight manager in, Arsenal, to all the Arteta sexuals out there, we ain't going to win the Champions League. Even if we get in the Champions League, I very much doubt we get out the quarterfinals. We ain't going to win the Premier League. He's proved his worth in competitions, right? Out of the FA Cup, third round, 2 years on the bounce. Get to the League Cup, Carabao Cup, semi-final, lose to Liverpool again, right? And let's get it right, he fluked the FA Cup because if Sheffield United hadn't had 2 goals disallowed, we'd have been out. He wouldn't have won that FA Cup and he wouldn't still be here. Simple as that.
I agree. I agree.
100%.
I always say one thing about that FA Cup victory as well. I think that was the trigger. I think Arteta took him to the FA Cup. I think they all believed in him at that point. But then I think as soon as he lifted that FA Cup and the Charity Shield that year, I think his ego exploded. And I think that's when the issue started. That's where I genuinely believe. I think he looked at lifting that FA Cup and he believed all his own hype and he treated the players completely differently because when he first came on board, Aubameyang was playing for him. Aubameyang was the first one stop pressing. He changed his whole game for him. So he believed in him at first. He must have been humble. But as soon as he lifted that FA Cup, he changed. And to be fair, if a player turns up late, let's be honest, if a player turns up late once or twice, what's better for the club? Is it better for the club that you lose an asset that can get you goals when you have no goal scorer in your team? Yeah. Or can you grin and bear it? Or do you just say, look, let's figure out a solution? If he can't manage somebody who's been late for 2 days, oh my God, you can't. People are going to be late, for crying out loud. One of the times his mum was ill, he had malaria, he had COVID, he'd had like a horrid year of hell. Like people forget those instances, and then if somebody's going through those issues, like he's got malaria, COVID, he's had his mum's been ill, he's fair enough, he's been late. Is it the end of the world? No, bloody hell. Do you think Ronaldo doesn't cause issues in that United dressing room? But do they turn around? They wouldn't dare to embarrass Ronaldo at all. They wouldn't dare to say Ronaldo. Obviously, he won't come late, but they wouldn't dare. No big manager. And the reason you don't hear Pep or Klopp doing it, because they don't do it publicly, because you can't turn around to me and say Salah's not got an ego, but it's just that you don't find out about it. You can't turn around to me and say Van Dijk doesn't give Thingy Bob any attitude. Look at Pep. There's a famous clip of De Bruyne shouting at Pep, but Pep never went out and embarrassed him. So
there's also the thing is, Bobby, as well. I agree with everything you're saying. That also people want to give credit to Arteta for winning the FA Cup. What about credit to Aubameyang when nobody in the team could score? I remember the season, no one was scoring. Aubameyang was the only one keeping us up there. Do you know what I mean? Where's the credit in the bank for that? Do you know what I mean? To be honest with you, out of all the players that we bought, breaking the transfer record in Lacazette, we broke our transfer record. We broke our transfer record for Pepe and for Aubameyang. The only one that's actually been good for his money has been Aubameyang.
Absolutely.
So why does he get treated like that? He's the only one. I mean, I like Pepe, and I understand that Pepe barely gets a game, but Aubameyang, I actually felt he did all right. Wasn't he our fastest player to 50 goals or something? The fastest
he won 2 golden boots.
This is what I mean. In a team that weren't creating anything. If you remember them times, we didn't have a Smith Rowe playing the way he's playing now. We didn't have an Odegaard playing the way he's playing now. We didn't have Saka playing the way he's playing now. He was actually driving this team on his own. Do you know what I mean? And this is the treatment he gets. I don't think it's correct, man. And when people want to give this selective kind of, oh, well, we're going to give Arteta praise. We'll give Aubameyang praise as well. When, Fuad has told me, oh, you're crying over a player. I'm like, no, it's the way that he's been treated. I don't think the crime doesn't warrant the punishment.
Absolutely.
And if you think it does warrant the punishment, then what's the punishment for Xhaka? Because he done an even worse offense than Aubameyang did.
Yeah.
And he gets in all the time. Another player quickly, I just want to get in. Another player that we're linked to, I want to get both of your opinions in. He's another player that constantly keeps getting linked to Arsenal. Is Victor Osimhen. Eds, what do you think about him? Do you want to see him at Arsenal, Napoli forward?
No. I looked at his stats. Doesn't impress me. Not a lot of difference to Lacazette, to be fair, is he? Currently.
Yeah.
So we can do better than this. I don't want to be looking at the second tier. I've said this before. I want top tier. I want Arsenal going out and looking the best.
Yeah.
If we're going to, if we get in the Champions League, yeah, we need top players. We're going to be up against the big boys, and we used to compete against the big boys. All right, we didn't win anything, but we competed. We gave it a go. Maybe apart from Bayern Munich, who spanked us every time. But we're going to have up against Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG, Juventus, Inter Milan, all these teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if let's say we were to get through to the semi-final and pull up against Liverpool. Now we all know how good Liverpool are against Arsenal, don't we? So we have to face up to the facts. We need to go in hard in this in this transfer window, and yet there's so many comments that I see. Oh, we're going to get Champions League. Great, I'd love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating it. I want us in the Champions League. I've seen us in the Champions League for 25 bleeding years. We never won it almost once in 25 years. If we're going to go in it with a direction to win it. Let's not go in it to be part of the party. Let's not piss around. Now, this guy, great player. I just don't think he is what we need. I'm sorry. I think we should be looking higher.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Just before I get Bobby coming in, and I also got Fuad waiting in the background there. Big up to everyone that's watching. Big up to everyone that's come from Lee's channel. I had bare comments saying, come Rat Army, come from Lee's channel. Big up to Lee. Big up to you guys. Big up to Jez. Big up to Bobby. And people, listen, this is a real Arsenal chat. You know what I mean? No funny business. We say it as it is. Bobby, what do you think about Osimhen coming to Arsenal?
I think Jez has hit the nail on the head, really, because when you weigh it up, you're going to enter the Champions League. So if we compare Osimhen, who's not proven, obviously nobody knows whether he's proven in the Premiership, but just compare him to the other strikers that are going into the Champions League from the Premiership. So you look at Liverpool, Jota, Salah, Mane, all of those guys. And we're going to go with Osimhen, potentially Nketiah and Lacazette. That's if we're lucky, if we sign all three of them up. We need a marquee striker. He might be the guy. Who knows? But he's an unproven commodity. And the thing is, the problem is, if you've got an unproven player amongst two players that are definitely not good enough, it just means all your forward line's completely shit. Whereas if you've got, let's say, a top world-class striker, like all these other teams in the Champions League have, United will have one next year. City will have one next year. Chelsea went out and spent £90 million on Lukaku. Fair enough, it's not worked out, but that's where they're showing. They're saying,
that's the thing. He had the stats. When Chelsea went for Werner, he had the stats over there in Germany. So you can understand why they said, okay, well, we score in a game or two every game. We can understand why we're going to take a chance on him. just like Jez, both of you are saying, Victor Osimhen, his stats aren't that great. I mean, the guy looking like we're gonna have to pay 80 mil for him. He's got 20 appearances, 11 goals. That's not great. That's Lacazette standard, and I don't want that. Do you know what I mean? Look at that. Like Europa, 5 appearances, 4 goals. Cool, that's Europa League, but you're gonna have to half that if it's Champions League. So what? He's gonna score a goal every 5 games. It's not great, is it? It's not great.
No.
I'm going to be quite honest here as well, Jez. I'd like to get your opinion on this. So this whole Lacazette love affair, I think it's pathetic. They say, he works well for the team. He cheers the fans on. That's what you've got Gunnosaurus for, isn't it? You don't need Lacazette to cheer the fans on. Bloody hell, that's not what you're.
You've got his biggest fan here, Bobby.
Yo, that's harsh, man.
You've got his biggest fan here. Prince Gordon, what are you saying, bro?
Yo, Bobby, man, don't be harsh on Lacazette. Yes, everyone. It was, sorry to be rude, but Bobby, that's harsh, bro. What up, Jez? What up, everyone? Yo, Bobby, man, come on, bro. You still moving, bro. Lacazette's a good player, man.
He's not, though. Come on, let's be honest.
Bro,
Let's
be honest, okay? Okay, let's be honest, all right? You got to look at his career at Arsenal, right? I think a lot of people agree with me. You know, when he started scoring goals, all right, under Wenger dropped him. When he started scoring goals under Emery dropped him. And when he started scoring goals under Arteta dropped him. So the club, the managers who everyone has been with haven't been loyal to him. You know, his confidence.
And what has he done when he's had the chance? What has he done when he's had the chance?
He's had the chance, but every time,
more than 14
even
goals.
with Wenger,
when has he scored more than 14 goals in the league?
No, but it's not about that, no side. It's about confidence. No, it's not about that. You can't say exactly because you're a human being. Look,
he's the main guy now.
I remember.
Hold on.
I remember.
He's the main guy right now. He's the main guy right now, yeah. And
yeah, but I'm saying to you,
Aubameyang in Barcelona.
You can't go off this season. No, because I will defend Lacazette because when Arsene Wenger, he scored 2 goals. I remember against Leicester away, and Arsene Wenger dropped him, and we were struggling, and he'd come on and scored the winner against what team was it? Was it What game was it at home? He come on and scored the winner. And he gets dropped the next game. And he goes on and scores another 2 goals and gets dropped the next game. So I feel for him in a way. I do.
But you didn't feel for Aubameyang.
He's a human being just like us. Bro, imagine you're scoring goals and you're getting dropped for doing your job.
No, but you didn't feel for Aubameyang when he got the
holding his team up.
And he got the goal.
No, but I know that. But even when Aubameyang was on the drop.
Oh, yeah, good riddance.
No, but even when the Aubameyang was on the drop, Lacazette come off the bench and scored. Even though Aubameyang, he scored like
but how many times
when he scored 3 goals this season, you got to bear in mind. Everyone gives him a hard time. You got to bear in mind when Aubameyang scored 4 seasons and played every game. My man come off the bench a few times and saved Arsenal and got him 3 points. Even though he scored 3 goals, them 3 goals are vital and one is.
Okay, let me say this. Let me say this. At the end of the day, yeah, you didn't have this energy when Aubameyang got kicked out. And I remember 2 seasons when he was our only goal scorer. Yeah, you seem to forget that because it's not convenient and your manager doesn't want him to stay. So you have no sympathy for him. Second of all, we broke the transfer record for Lacazette. When a club breaks a transfer record for you, there are standards and you need to live up to those standards. He has not lived up to his standards. He is not good enough. He's at 31 years old and he's a player that his biggest attribute around the fan base, he works hard. Do I care? You get paid millions of pounds a year. The minimum, like Jez said earlier on, is to work hard. I don't care. You're not getting a round of applause for working hard. Yeah. At the end of the day, if you feel so sorry for him, why didn't you have that same energy for Aubameyang? His mum could have died of COVID. Yeah. And you're there slagging him off. Oh, he didn't care anymore. He wasn't putting up anything. Aubameyang's worst season is Lacazette's best season for Arsenal.
The fact Lacazette, when he first came to the club, I thought, great, brilliant. He's been here longer than Aubameyang, right? Yeah, he scored less goals than Aubameyang did to when Aubameyang left in January. So what's that tell me? That Lacazette is not good enough. And the fact is, let's talk statistics because Lacazette works hard. Great. I'm really. I hope he bloody does. He's getting paid a shitload of money a week, and he should work bloody hard. Yet he doesn't seem to have the physical standard to complete 90 minutes. Yeah, let's get it right. He doesn't.
No, but what he does though, all right,
scores a shitload of goals. Yeah, got golden boot twice and lasted 90 minutes. So, where are we making the comparison here, people? Because I expect a top world-class striker at his age to compete for 90 minutes. All I've seen of Lacazette recently is a headless chicken.
Yeah.
Be fair. Yeah. And he's had the ability to score a goal from inside the 18-yard box, and he fluffs it. Sorry, man. I don't hate the fella, but when your time's up, and it's time to move on. And it's his time.
No, but I'm not saying. But I'm saying, no, but Jez, I'm not turning around and saying, all right, these guys, I'm not turning around and saying he's the best striker since sliced bread. I'm saying, in a way, by a lot of man, he's been hard done by.
He probably has, Fuad, but the problem is what you've got to understand.
You've got to be honest with you, and that's what I'm saying.
But that's Arteta's done that with loads of players. Absolutely, loads of players. You can't just say, "Oh, Wenger did that." Arteta.
I see that. To be honest with you, because I'm happy. Listen, but I'm happy. All right. At the end of the day, I'm happy that Lacazette, regardless what if he ain't scoring goals and what, but his thing on the pitch is infectious, and I know he's closing players down. But then what he's doing is he's giving us. If you play what he's trying to do, when he drops in. He goes and does his running around and he gives Smith Rowe, Martinelli, and Saka the freedom and Odegaard to go bombing forward, and they're the ones who actually scoring the goals. That's the style of play, and it's working.
So what's the So is he doing that? Is he purposely missing the chances then?
No, he's got to put the ball in the net. I totally agree with you on
that.
But I'm not saying
you can say there's no one player for the team, but you can't.
Of course, he works hard for the team, and that's what you want, isn't it?
He does. But what I'm trying to say to you, Fuad, is if he's working hard for the team, but at the same expense, he's missing 3 clear shots on a game.
No, I know. Listen, I know he's missed sitters, bro. At the end of the day, listen, we all look. I go crazy when he misses sitters. But
listen, Fuad, hold on.
But he's not going to get dropped.
It's this simple. It's this simple. Yeah, it's this simple. Guendouzi hasn't been given a chance. Saliba hasn't been given a chance. Torreira hasn't been given a chance. If you got there, hold on. Because you're sitting there saying, "Oh, poor Lacazette." What about how he's been treated? There's been a lot of players that haven't been treated the right way.
Why do you all go back to Saliba? Why do you all go back?
You believe Ainsley Maitland-Niles? Hold on. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, another player. I don't think he's good enough for Arsenal. Another player that hasn't really been given a chance. So what I'm saying to you is this: at the end of the day, you're a striker. I do not care. If you drop in deep and you can pass the ball, you should have learned how to do that in the flipping under 18s or 90 or under 6s or something. Yeah, how to pass the ball. Ultimately, as a striker, you are judged for your goals. Your goals aren't good enough. The money spent on you is not good enough. We're not seeing value of money. This club, I'm sick of this club being NHS FC or flipping charity Oxfam FC. Oh, because we feel bad for you. Oh, because of this. I don't care, innit? If you're not good enough, get out the club. I don't care. I do not care. The elite clubs, they don't care about sentiment. They don't care. I've seen Real Madrid drop flipping Casillas, yeah? Because he ain't good enough. Drop him to Portugal. Listen, in elite football, if you're not good enough, you're not good enough.
Yeah, but that's there. But you got to understand something, bro. But our club don't run like that.
Yeah, but I want them to run like that because we're not running like that. But the clubs that are running like that are the most successful teams.
I keep repeating myself.
Wait, hold on. The clubs that are running like that are the most successful teams. So what are you telling me?
So wait there. Whoa. Wait there. So our club, when I went shot, where was everyone? We should have this energy in 2008 then.
Well, you didn't even know me, so what? How do you know what my energy was?
And Fuad, we had that energy when we got rid of Emery. We had that energy when we fired Emery.
Oh, bro, you're still going about Emery, bro. Emery, you know.
Oh, no, he doesn't want to talk about it.
No. Emery, listen. Emery, when he was here, you Arsenal fans were mocking him, disposing. You were destroying the guy. And now when he leaves, like, come on, bro. This ain't no Mary Poppins things around here, bro. Take it like a, you got to understand.
You're not consistent in what you say. You're not consistent. I'll tell you why you're not consistent. Because you have a certain energy.
It's done, bro. It's irrelevant. Everything you bring up Emery, you bring up.
I'm going to get Jez's point. Hold on. Jez, this is the problem that I have with Fuad. Yeah, Fuad doesn't like Edu. He doesn't like the ownership, but he loves the process and he loves the manager. Fuad seems to have this energy for Lacazette, but he doesn't give a crap about Pepe, the way Pepe's been treated, the way Guendouzi's been treated. He doesn't keep it consistent. When I judge the manager, I have this expectation of all Arsenal managers. If you don't win me,
do you know what?
winning, competing for the league, I want you gone. If you're a player and you're not good enough, I want you gone. What is the difference in not wanting a player or a manager? They're both employees of the club, are they not? Jez, what do you think?
Okay.
Well, you got some bad internet, boy.
I've seen many players in my life's term at Arsenal that haven't been good enough, and I've seen some poor managers. But Lacazette, when he came, I thought, yeah, great. He hasn't done it. Now I'm going to compare this guy to a player that you guys have probably never ever heard of at Arsenal, a guy called Peter Marinello. He was deemed to be the Scottish version of George Best, and this is back in 1969, long before you guys were born. He came into Arsenal, bigged it all up, and failed. It's a bit like a player you may have heard of, Charlie Nicholas. Charlie Nicholas came in from Celtic, going to be the next great player. Scored and did well, never made it. And we can move on, and we can move on. Now, I'm sorry to say, Lacazette is not good enough. He's played 28 games this season in the league and scored 4 goals. That is a bloody awful statistic for a striker. Now, getting back to your point about Arteta, I don't hate the man. I don't know him. I've never met him. I've seen him play. He was bang average. He was bang average when he came from Everton at 11 o'clock on transfer deadline day in 2011. Yeah? And let's get it right. That season, Wenger signed some shit players. Yeah? And, Javinho, Zhu Yong Park, I will leave it there. And Arteta. Arteta is not the man to take Arsenal to the heights of where they should be. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. I've watched what he does as a manager. He has no style of play. He is an arrogant arsehole, and he is absolutely just not the man. And if Arsenal were to go out and get in the Champions League and next season get to the semi-finals and go out, and if Arteta can go out next season and win the Premier League, I will sit here and say, Jez, you're a wanker, you know fuck all about football. Simple as. But I know, I can sit here confidently and know that ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. The guy is not good enough. He hasn't got the experience. He hasn't got the man management skills. He hasn't got the depth of knowledge of the game. And let's put it right, people. And I could get into a big one here, but I'm not going to because I've never been on a small-sized channel before. But I see so many idiots that know nothing about this football club. They don't know the history. They don't know the structure of the club. They don't know where the club should be going because they're all little Arteta sexuals that want to sit in their back rooms of their mum's houses and get stuck to their bed sheets every morning because they're having one about Arteta. That is one of the biggest fucking problems at Arsenal fan base because all the time we have these delusional little twats that want to spout it out there about Arteta. And dear God, I was watching a channel. I think it might be Lee's or it might be somebody else's the other night, right? And this person actually, I'll tell you what it was. I'll tell you what channel it was. It was Arsenal's. It was Lee's Arsenal's Muppet Show. This guy actually put a comment in, right? Fact. Arteta is the best looking manager. Now, sorry, people, what the hell has that got to do with football? Now, whether that guy or girl, we don't know who they are, fancy him, great. Good luck to you. I'm quite happy that you do. But you're never going to meet the man. You're never going to get into bed with him. So why make a stupid comment like that? What the fuck is that about? And this is what we have to deal with people bigging it up, their love for Arteta and their love for players that aren't good enough to be at this club. Right? Simple. Xhaka, disrespected the fan base at Watford, needed to go. Now, why did not Arteta kick him out for what he did? And the fact he has let this football team down, so many occasions with his petulant play that he gets a red card and has cost us games. And how many times has he done that this year, guys? Twice. Yeah. So let's go back and think, well, why is he still here? Lacazette, 4 goals, 8 games, poor, right? Aubameyang, here, scored more than that until he was binned off by Arteta for ill discipline, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. But at the end of the day, that guy, and I don't agree with what he did, to be fair, I don't, because you have to show respect to the club. It's not show respect to Arteta, it's that badge up there, that badge. That's what you play for. But unfortunately, nowadays in modern football, you don't get that anymore. Because when I grew up, when I lived opposite Highbury, and I could literally spit across the road to the East Stand from where I lived, you had respect for the club. As a fan, as a group around, all the families that lived within a mile of Highbury. Unfortunately, nowadays, we have a franchise, we have an international fan base who sit there talking absolute bollocks on the internet, who know nothing, and because you don't agree with them, they get the arse. And I find it sad, and I find it laughable because I get it every day from people. You're not an Arsenal fan. You're not an Arsenal fan. You know nothing about Arsenal. Oh, mate, I've been watching for 53 bleeding years. Right? I was born right opposite the fucking North Bank in my grandparents' house. My grandfather first saw Arsenal in 1924. He was the man that took me Arsenal in 1967. So I find it a joke. And the fact of the matter is that I don't care whether you live in fucking Outer Mongolia. Yeah? At the end of the day, have some respect for people that actually know the game. Learn the history of the club, respect the players, respect what is about the club. Now, I'm going to make a statement here. I respect Arteta for who he is. I respect him. I don't rate him as a manager. I don't want him as a manager. And the reason I don't want him as a manager is because he's not good enough to take Arsenal to where we should be. And I will leave it there because I will be boring the shit out of everybody.
No, not all.
No, great. I mean, that was perfect. I think all of us can agree that, we look up to you. I mean, you've been watching Arsenal a lot longer than all of us. So, I mean, the only thing I will say is this. I'm in Lisbon at the moment. Someone's got a bit of a crack to their sound. I don't know who it is. Maybe you for it. I don't know. But yeah, I'll say this, and then I'm going to ask you, Bobby, a question. Today I went to the Sporting Lisbon Stadium, to see, not Sporting Lisbon, Benfica, my Portuguese team. I went there with my girlfriend. My girlfriend ain't really into football. We went to see all the trophies today. I took videos and pictures. She doesn't watch football, The only thing that she could see, how big Benfica is in Portugal, how we're the biggest club in Portugal, was all the trophies, all the Taças de Portugal, all the campeonatos, all the Champions League. We've got 2 Champions League we won with Eusebio. I think, Jez, you remember Eusebio. 2 Champions League we won with Eusebio. She could see how big the club is due to not even seeing the fans, just the trophy hall. And that is what football is about. That is what football is about. She was able to see how big this club is, well, Benfica is, just by the trophies, because football is about winning. We went back to 1904 when the club was founded. That is the same thing with Arsenal. Football is about winning. It's not about favourites. It's not about a manager you don't like or a certain fan you don't like. It's about your club with the armpits at the end of the season, lifting them up. Whether it's Arteta, whether it's a Tottenham ex-legend, if we're winning, we're winning. That's all we care about. This is Benfica. This league hasn't got as much money as the Premier League. And Benfica, they brought back a manager, just to compare. They brought back a manager that won the league, Fuad. Won the league. Yeah? They done a double, yeah? Came back here. I think they got Benfica to 5th. He got sacked straight away. There's no, oh, we love you, Jorge Jesus. Oh, we want you back. Oh, because you did this for the club. Wait, hold on. No, just as a comparison, because when you put it into perspective,
you're talking waffles,
Benfica, wait, hold on. Benfica don't have as much money as Arsenal, yeah? Yes, they have 2 European trophies with Arsenal. Arsenal is still a bigger club than Benfica. But Benfica have the standards of, if you don't win us the league, out. And they have become the most successful team in Portugal. 37 league titles alone. 37. No more. No one has got more. So don't tell me the system don't work. And they've been like this.
Well, all right, then. If you're going to go, okay, you're going to go.
One thing for you, Fuad. Hold on. Bobby, yeah? What do you want to see from Arsenal this summer? Then, Fuad, I want to hear what you got. Okay. What you want this summer.
To be honest with you, I want to see him maybe get some black magic and swap with Antonio Conte. That would be the reality. If I could get him to do something, I'd want him to swap places with Antonio Conte. But the reason I'm not optimistic about Arteta at all is because everybody says he needs his own players. What does he need to do? Does he need to give birth to those players? Because you've got to be able to manage players and get the best out of them. One thing I've seen about Arteta, he can't do that. He can't manage players. He can buy them and then he can have enough faith in them because his ego's that big that he doesn't want to get it wrong. But if he goes in, he needs to spend realistically upwards of £350 million this summer to compete.
And what positions would you buy? What positions would you upgrade?
I'd say, obviously, forward line, we need 3 strikers. I'm not saying they all need to be elite, but I think you need, because Nketiah is never going to be good enough. Laka, I agree with Jez before and yourself. He's not good enough. He's not even as good as Joe Linton. Let's be honest. He's not as good as Joe Linton. And that's it's not being disrespectful. That's being honest. The impact Joe Linton has on that Newcastle team is greater than what Lacazette has to our Arsenal team. That's being honest. Because neither of them score. So there's no difference apart from Joe Linton's got more effort. So I'd say we need some new strikers. We need another I'd say we need a really creative playmaker. I'd say we need a defensive midfielder. I'd say we need a right back.
Oh.
And I'd say we probably need...
Fucking hell, you're going to ask so much?
Yeah, but the point is, if we're going to enter the Champions League for us, what we're going to do, we're going to... he just spent 250 million last summer.
I find. What do you want in the summer? What do you want in the summer?
I find me, me, bro.
He wants an Arteta statue.
No. Do you know me, bro? I really rate Cedric. Seriously, I think a lot of people disrespect him. I think he's a quality, and he's a top right back.
Not a top right back.
He is, bro.
He's not a top.
He's a top right back. No, he's top, bro. He's European level, bro.
Rotation. He's decent rotation.
No, he's agree with that. I totally agree with that statement. I rate Cedric, and I know a lot of people don't.
Because you know where you are. You guys, you get an English right back, all right? You have all right, and they're like, oh, bro, he's better than most right backs in the league, bro. The man has done a European level. He's done it for his country, and he plays well for Arsenal. There's no. You can't say nothing bad about that right back. Name me a right back who can step in.
If he's injured, who steps in? If he's injured, who steps in?
That's what I'm saying. That's
why you need another right back.
But he is a quality right back, man. I rate him, Brad.
I never said he's dead. I don't think he's elite. But I don't think
no, but I'm just saying, a lot of Arsenal fans, they don't rate him. I think, yo, bro, come on, bro. Put some respect on the man's name.
He's competent. He's good.
Quality. He's quality, bro. You know, if he could do it,
he's quality and he's good. I don't think he's world class.
Nah, he's quality, man. He's a top.
I've seen him play for my
I rate
national
him, bro.
team.
As a footballer, bro, I think, bro, he's rated, bro. And if people don't rate him, he could turn around and say, well, come on, how many all the right backs people mentioned? Yo, where's their European Cup, bro?
There's nothing bad in calling a player good. It doesn't mean you mean they're rubbish.
No, but a lot of Arsenal fans they disrespect him.
Elite is going towards like
he's quality. I rate
and
him.
Reece James, and that's now hitting elite. I don't.
Okay, but Trent. All right, okay, let's go on Trent. The other day, going back, he got absolutely. I tell you, ripped him to shreds. Everyone, even Liverpool fans said it.
Martinelli would have done that.
A player can never have a bad day.
No, it ain't that. Trent is good. See, this is the difference. Trent is also going forward and putting the ball in. Defensively, he's not all that.
So what? Answer the question. What do you want to see in the summer? Because you didn't really like what Bobby had to say. What do you want to see in the summer? And then I want to hear what Jess wants to see in the summer transfer.
Well, I think Xhaka. Granted, Xhaka's going to Rome. I think they come out and said he's any more targets. So I will go and buy a replacement for Xhaka, but I'll get. I don't know if I want Pasuma. There's another player we're linked with. He plays in what's his name, man?
No, just say the positions that you want filling. Just say the positions that you want filling.
Oh, okay. I want another replacement for Xhaka because he gotta go. And 2 strikers.
Okay.
And maybe another number. I don't know. Maybe another right back. Maybe. Like
That's exactly what I said.
The third right back.
Exactly.
Maybe. But if Cedric's fit, and Tomiyasu's fit, don't waste your money on a right back. Because I think Cedric can come in and do the job. So 2 strikers. And I'll go for another attacking midfielder. Like to give Odegaard a little run for his money.
Okay. And Jez, what would you like to see done in the summer transfer window?
Well, we need to get rid of Nketiah. We need to get rid of Lacazette. I'd like to see Ivan Toney personally, and I think Ivan Toney would be a top prospect for Arsenal because, let's be honest, he's made a couple of silly comments towards Brentford lately, and he'd come in, and I think he'd make a big difference. Basuma, let's go and rate Brighton again. Let's go and like we did with Ben White. Great purchase that was. 50 million for Ben White. Brilliant. Nice move, Arteta. Nice.
Fuad loves him. Fuad absolutely loves him.
I love him. Yeah. I reckon he's quality, bro. He's quality. I rate him.
You see, Jez, what I got to put up with.
You'll see next season how even better he gets.
Well, let's look at the seasons he's been at Brighton. Let's go back in time. Anyway, let's move on. We need 2 central midfielders. Xhaka needs to go. I don't like slagging off El Neni because be fair play to the guy. When he has played, I think he's done bang average. Xhaka, I just dislike Xhaka because I just dislike Xhaka. Can't stand the man personally. I actually hate Xhaka more than I dislike Arteta. And actually, I don't dislike Arteta. I just don't think he's good enough. Xhaka, I could say something, but I won't. But we need him out of the club straight away. I think he is a cancer in the club. I'm sorry. He needs to go. And so, 2 strikers. We need 2 good quality central midfielders, because let's be honest, our midfield's pretty crap. It's pretty
absolutely.
Crap. Yeah. Yeah, I saw a comment the other day. Dear God. Odegaard. No, was it Odegaard? Yeah, Odegaard. Some guy. Odegaard. And I'm not going to name the name. He goes on AFTV. Name begins with J, ends with an N. Yeah. Odegaard's going to be the next Vieira.
They're playing different positions.
And then the week before that, 2 weeks before that, I lie, he said, this guy could be as good as Bergkamp. Dear God. Really? Yeah, I'd like to see that one. If we could get another third camp, then I would seriously. Sorry, I'm laughing. Seriously, dear God, they come around once in your lifetime, and I was fortunate enough to watch some of them great Holland players in their midfield back in their days, 70s and 74, 78, awesome players. If we could have some of them, if we could actually maybe go to Madden Two Swords and get them to make some of it for us. But this is the fan base we deal with. Comments, pathetic. We need two top strikers. I don't want second tier. I want top tier. I want two top tier central midfielders. And what we need is another decent two centre backs. And I think I will go with what you say, my friend. I do rate Cedric. I think he's all right. I don't rate Ben White. He's too weak. He's too, in my opinion, he's too inflexible. He has a game plan that is poor. Ramsdale, I'm happy with, and before anybody wants to jump in and shut me up, when Ramsdale came, I said, "Why the hell have we got him?" He's proved me wrong, and I've always said this: if a player comes in, shuts my mouth, and says, "Jez, you're talking bollocks," and I'll say, "I'm talking bollocks." And fair play, he's taught me and told me I'm talking bollocks because he's been, to me, he's been our player of the season so far. Personally, my own opinion. That's my opinion. But that's the business we need to do. Are we going to do that with Edu in the summer? We all know where Edu will be. He'll be on his jet ski somewhere around the world with his old fat cigars in his gob, not taking his phone with him to talk to some agent. We'll be linked with this player. We'll be linked with that player. We'll be this, that, and the other. We'll have his son saying, "Well, I don't get to talk to my dad much on holiday because he's always busy." Yeah, because, mate, he's on his fucking jet ski, smoking his cigars and drinking fucking champagne. Rather than do that, Mr. Edu, do your fucking job, sort yourself out, get some players, get onto the agents, get on the fucking phone. Ain't hard. You can talk to any agent in the world, you've got your numbers, and say, "Right, we want to buy this striker. Right, how much do you want? Right, okay, you want 70 mil. Right, okay, mate, don't worry. I'm sending a plane, get you and your player over. I'll see you up at the Emirates, I'll take you out for dinner, and we'll have a good time and we'll do the business." No, this is not Arsenal. That's not the Arsenal way. If Arsenal want a £70 million striker, I'll say, "Oh, yeah, we'll give you 55. And that's how it works. We did it with Suarez. Do you remember that one at Liverpool? That embarrassing deal that Wenger tried to do? Plus £1 fucking pound. You take the piss. And that player, by the way, wanted to come to
Arsenal. Suarez, yeah.
Well, this is it.
I still think Suarez, 10 years later, still does a job for Arsenal. I think he's better than any striker right now we've got.
Oh, 100%.
Even right now, like when he came available, I'd take Suarez now over Lacazette. Over Nketiah.
You know what? To be honest,
no one in the top 6 takes any of our strikers.
You know what? I hope we get Ivan Toney and the Benfica striker. They'll be damaged.
Darwin Núñez and Ivan Toney.
Because you got one for the Premier League and you got one for the Champions League too. Because he's quality, man. He gives every person a handful, bro.
But look at this for one. Rise says Xavi is A1, no process, no youth project. Look at the turnaround. It shows when you have football people within a club, fortunes can turn around very quickly.
Xavi, nah, man, because you underrate. You know what, bro? You underestimate the Premier League, bro. How powerful it is, bro. Yeah, but you know what? You underestimate the Premier League, how powerful it is, how strong it is. Like that's why this year is going to be another. No. This year in the Champions League this year, all right, it's going to be another Premier League team. It might be 2. It might be Man City and Chelsea. It could be Man City and Liverpool in the Champions League final. There is only one team really that's performing in Real Madrid in Spain this year. That's Real Madrid. They're like, what, 17 points clear? But to your standards, that's not good.
They're a billion
So
in
don't
debt.
bring up a player.
No, I'm sorry. They're a billion in debt. He's
No,
barely
I'm sorry,
bought in
that's
his own
hypocrisy.
players. He's barely bought in
Hypocrisy,
his
bro.
own players, yeah? And look how
You're
he's
in the
turned
mud.
around Barcelona. And the striker that you were so happy to let go of is now in how many? I think he's got...
But it doesn't matter, bro. You're an Arsenal fan,
period.
bro.
I'm just
Barcelona
saying.
is 17
I'm
with
just
the
saying.
Arsenal
And
and Barcelona in the
striker that
same
you are
boat, bro.
moaning about,
That,
what's
no,
going
no,
on with him?
But Javi's not fighting for league titles. No,
Big
he's
up
Arteta.
Gracie. Big
You're
up
in the
to
boat, bro.
Gracie.
Don't talk that local with me, bro. You know what I mean? You don't act like Javi's top of the table, bro. He's 17 points behind Real Madrid, bro. When Real Madrid got 2 games in hand. Real Madrid
How far
wins the league
behind
in
are
3
we
weeks,
of
bro.
Liverpool? We've had all season and £250 million.
But there's no,
And 3
bro,
years
listen,
in the process.
you know what I understand. There's no team on the planet in this present moment most probably better than Liverpool and Man City.
Yeah,
I proved that
why
when
is that, though?
Liverpool come back to win the Champions League 4-0 down, bro. That's how powerful the English league is.
Okay.
You can't compare the leagues, man.
Could we have
You can't compare
afforded
this league to
Diego
that league,
Jota?
right?
Could we have afforded Diego Jota?
But when you've got the likes of Klopp going in for you, Bobby, and Liverpool,
Yeah, but
they're not going to look
therefore
elsewhere.
you should
They're the
have-
best team in the world, bro. You guys are
Yeah, but
talking
you
delusional
back
now,
this
man.
manager like he's the best manager in the
Yeah,
world.
but this manager's been in the game for 2.5 years, bro. You can't
So why
act
do you
like
back
this
him so
manager
much?
hasn't.
Why do you back him? Why do you back him like that? Like he can't do no wrong.
Let's say I guarantee you that
Give me it, guys.
I'll put you a bet out offside. You know so much about football. I bet you any money that Hartland and what's his name, Mbappe do not touch Barcelona. I'm not confident.
Yeah, because they'll get sued. They haven't got the money.
Why? Same reason because of Arsenal. Because they ain't got a manager who's good enough to take the next like you say, in your opinion.
No.
Oh, but Xavi's good enough.
No, they legally can't do it, Fuad. They legally can't.
Why
do
can't
it.
they?
Because they're in debt. They can't do it.
No.
Bro,
That league, there's only one team in it now, and that's Real Madrid, bro. Because you can see, go and look at their table. Madrid on 66 points, everyone else on 42
I
or
thought
47.
it was Atleti that won the league last season. So
Yeah, well, nowhere near this year.
Yeah, but what
You
I'm
know?
saying is this: all the excuses you give to Arteta. What I'm saying is this: Xavi.
But Arteta, bro, you got to give him a chance, bro.
Hold on. Every time I'm talking, you love cutting in. Hold on. Yeah, Xavi. Yeah, came from Qatar. Yeah, Xavi came from Qatar. Comes to Barcelona, a club that's in disarray. Players that are overpriced on inflated wages. The whole flipping squad doesn't mesh well. Their best players are their players that actually
Don't support Arsenal, bro.
and then they've got some players from the youth that aren't doing that well. So at the end of the day, he came into a mess. But look at how he's handling it. Yeah, he doesn't need 3 years and $250 million. Yeah, and even though he's probably not going to win the league, within a year, he's got them at least fighting for the league, at least up there. We're not even in a title race, and we spent
What title race?
in 3 years.
What title race are they in? Come on, no side. What title race are Barcelona in? Football fans who are watching this channel, football fans, don't ask me, to laugh at you, bro. There's no title race in this space, bro. There's no title race.
How long has he been there? How long has he been there?
It doesn't matter how long he's been there. It doesn't matter.
And did he not inherit a mess? And did he not wait, I'm asking you a direct question. Did he not inherit a mess?
No, not really.
Did he not inherit a mess?
World-class players there.
Oh my God.
No, not bad as Arsenal.
Oh my God. Okay.
So wait there. Whoa. Wait there. You're telling me, all right? Like you're telling me the likes of their players, all right? They have got 2 players. They bought players from Ajax. They bought down what's his name, who's a top defender, top defensive midfield. They've got top players there. They got Rakitic. They've got top players there. Doesn't matter. They got top players there. All them players are better than Mustafi.
Well done, Northside.
I'm better than all the Arsenal teams. All of them that Arteta got rid of. They're much better players. The European, no, they don't even miss out on the Champions League this season. Arsenal,
Can I just ask you a question, mate? I'm guessing you're Arteta in.
100%.
Fair play. Okay, I respect your view. I respect your view. Can you give me 4 reasons of why that is the case?
Okay, you want me to give you 4 reasons why I support Arteta? Okay, because he's coming to when he come into the job, the first thing he did, all right, all the players that we were mourning about, who were in the Champions League and who were in the league and they were always giving up, he got rid of. So he got rid of all the dead work. Second of all right, He come in and won the FA, and then he won the FA Cup. But after that, he got rid of all of that work. Second of all, when people go on about, oh, he can't take big points, he can't be busy. Well, he done a double over Tuchel in his first season. You got some Arteta out fans talking about, oh, what about Tom Dyche? Well, Arteta's beat Tuchel home and away. We haven't been to Old Trafford for 14 years, okay? For 14 years, we haven't won Old Trafford. He went there and won. And the second thing is, Jez, why I rate him is because for years and years and years, and all these Arteta out fans and AFTV, I used to watch it all. Everyone said the one thing that Arsenal never did was bring a defensive midfielder in who was good enough for Arsenal. And now the first thing Arteta did on his signing was bring in Partey. He fixed the problem that we were asking for years.
Okay.
No, so look at Jez, I'm going to say to you now, look at Arteta's straight line and look at Emery's. We got Ramsdale, Arteta, Gabriel, Partey. Or would you rather Leno, Mustafi, Torreira? Who would you rather? So I'm not saying he's the best thing, but I back him because I think at least he's coming at the balls to get rid of all the dead wood, to take this job, because no other big manager would have took this job.
How can you say that when Conte goes to Tottenham? How can you say that?
Because they did go in, because you got to understand. You say that because you don't understand. In April,
they're bigger than us.
No, one side. If you follow Arsenal, go and have a look who they interviewed before they interviewed Emery. They filled you Allegri, he refused the job. They interviewed Luis Enrique. Have a look on the website. And he refused the job. Emery took the job by luck.
Well,
not knowing how hard the
same
job was.
website that props up the propaganda of this club.
No,
to make standards in the mud.
No, it's not about that.
I'm saying to you is this. Well, how can
Jez answer me? Can Jez answer me?
Hold on. How can Tottenham, a team that's not as big as Arsenal, be able to attract a world-class manager, and yet you're trying to convince me that my club, Arsenal, can't attract a world-class manager? I can't have that. I cannot have that. I can't have that. And this is what I got to deal with, Jez. This is what I got to deal with. Big up to Fuad. He's a very lovely guy, but he's delusional. And you know what hurts? He's actually a bit older than me. He knows why I have this standard, why you have this standard. We grew up on an Arsenal winning doubles, winning leagues. It's all about winning. Even when we'd lose to Fergie, right, next season we're going to compete. We was always up there. We was always fighting. When's the last time in the last 18 years we've even been in a title race? Even in a race, Jez. When is the last time?
Well, look, let's get back to my question to that guy.
Fuad. Oh, he's back. The
point I was trying to make is, all the questions I was trying to place are this: that I asked why you want Arteta in, and I respect your view. So let's leave that one there. Now, you made the statement about Emery and what he achieved. Well, Emery got us to a European League final.
And Jez, 100%, you're right. And Emery was the one who come out and said, Jez, when you watch his interview, and I have to send it to you, saying these players, I couldn't motivate him to play.
Well, I think
Emery wasn't a fault.
The team didn't turn up. I think that's more the case that we actually.
And he said he wasn't motivated.
Chelsea. Now, the fact you said, you said that Arteta. Did you say Emery cleared out the deadwood?
No, Arteta.
No, he didn't, did he? Because
Arteta.
He's been doing it for 2 years. He's been doing it for 2 years. Now, let's put that fact in place. He held on to Bellerin, the ballerina, right, until recently.
Yeah.
And actually,
But no one wanted him, Jez. But no one wanted to sign him, Jez.
Useless player that doesn't follow football.
I agree with you. He's useless. I'm not saying he's not.
Well, he held on to him. Now, you're not telling me he's dead wood. He's held on to Xhaka, right?
No.
Xhaka, dead wood, rubbish, useless. Yeah? Okay? He gave Rob Holding a new contract to
I don't think Rob Holding's that bad though.
I quote to save his market value. Yeah? Okay? He kept him, right? He's kept hold of Reece Nelson, who we could have sold for 20 million. Yeah? And he didn't do it.
He's on loan, isn't he?
He's on loan. So no, hang on. No, you've had your say. I'll have my say. Right? I'll have my say. Yeah? Right? So he has now not cleared out the dead wood. Right? Yeah? Do we agree on that one? He got rid of Martinez, who was at that point in time our best goalkeeper, because Martinez stood up to him and said, I want to be number one. Oh, no, you can't be number one. You can fuck off to Villa. Okay, bye. See ya. Thanks very much. Sold him for fuck all. Right? So now you're sitting here telling me that this, is the man to take Arsenal Football Club forward. I don't bloody think so, because he's pissed off, players that have come in, right, like Pepe, £72 million player, right? £72 million, don't fucking play. And let's also talk about the fact we have players, Lacazette, your man, right? Scored a goal, didn't play him for 4 fucking games, didn't play him. That is what Arteta does. You play well, you can fuck off and sit on the bench, right? Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're quite right. It was Ainsley Maitland-Niles, not Reece Nelson. Ainsley Maitland-Niles. And the fact of the matter is, you cannot trust this man. This guy is untrustworthy as Arsenal manager. I don't believe in him. I don't hate him. I don't believe in him. My philosophy is Arsenal Football Club should be challenging, right, for the first place in the Premier League. We haven't done it for years because Wenger was here for too long, right? And I agree with everybody that says that. When he had his decade, he was awesome, right? And somebody asked in the chat earlier, why has he not got a statue? Well, he probably will one day because he won 2 doubles and God knows what else, right? Won more FA Cups than any other manager in history. So I dare say one day Wenger will have a statue. And I'm pretty certain Vieira will, now he's got into the Hall of Fame. Anyway, I digress. The fact of the matter is, I do not believe this guy. I think he's a fraud. And the only reason, to answer your last part of your question, you said no top-class manager would want to come to Arsenal. Bollocks. Any top-class manager will come to Arsenal if you offer him enough money. Because we forget there's no loyalty in football anymore. There's no local thing about, oh, I love Arsenal. I want to play for Arsenal. I'm a little kid and I actually love them. And and we have had them. Tony Adams, Merson, Keown, all these great players that play for Arsenal. If you offer somebody enough money, right, they'll come to your club. Now, the fact with Arsenal Football Club is we have no structure, we have no decent management, we have a very weak board, we have absolutely deluded people behind the scenes in Edu and Vinay. They're absolute frauds and they are wasters and they will take this club down even further. Right, and everybody's gassing it up right now. Arsenal in fault, right? Champions League. He's moaning, about the fixture congestion. Well, matey boy, next season, Arteta, you'll be playing 2 games a week plus cups. Well, no, you probably won't be because actually you like kicking us out of the FA Cup in the 3rd round. So actually. Arteta, I don't really think you are man for the job. I would rather have Simeone in this club, right? A proper manager who wins things and actually can direct players and actually will tell players to stick it up their arse if they don't like it. I'd love to see players like Xhaka stand up to Simeone because he'd be fucking knocking them out. That's the man he is. He actually has the direction, the style of play. And people say he's boring. 1-0, 1-0. Well, I remember the fucking days of George Graham, 1-0 to the Arsenal. But, 1991, unbeaten for 1 game. Lost to Chelsea.
Where's Chelsea? Where's the Chelsea?
Yeah, because we had all 4 of our top defenders out. And we lost that game 2-1 to Chelsea. Otherwise, we would have gone unbeaten. And that team, in my book, is far better than the Invincibles. End of my rant.
I think that's really interesting what you said about Simeone.
There you go.
No offside.
There you go.
No
Final
offside.
thoughts.
I gotta go anyway, but Jez, it's been an honor speaking to you. It's been an honor speaking to you. I see you 2 idiots all the time. So I'm gonna shoot off, boys, anyway. But anyway, Jez, it's been an honor speaking to you. And I'll hopefully catch up with you soon. No offside, we need to have this proper debate. Because I'm out on a ball, right? You know already what one, but I gotta go now anyway. But I'm out. Arteta in. Love.
Mate, I respect you. That's fair play.
I think what you said there, Jez, about Simeone was brilliant because he was on True Geordie. Kieran Tierney was on True Geordie podcast, and they go, "What's it like playing for Simeone?" And he goes, "You know what? It's like nothing I can describe." He said he includes the players that are out of the team. They're the ones that are getting Simeone's attention. He goes, he bases the training days around the players who are out of the team so they feel included. He goes, he knows every single player. He comes around to your house for barbecues. And he looks like a bulldog. He looks like he doesn't take any shit, which he probably doesn't. Simeone and Trippier goes, you know what? I've never been managed by anyone like him. The way he runs training sessions. So it's not just him shouting on the touchline like Arteta does for no reason. It's for the reason. That's why people like Kieran Tierney that has improved at an older age coming back into the Premiership. Whereas we've got a manager who's, let's be honest, who has he actually improved? He's got no say in how Ramsdale picks up a ball. And to be honest, and I know you rate Ramsdale, I like Ramsdale, but if Martinez was still there this year, would there have been a big difference between Martinez and Ramsdale? I don't think there would.
No.
And then if you look through the team, rather than going, I won't go into too much of a rant, North Side, I know you want to go, but if you look through the team, Saka was always getting better naturally. Martinelli was always getting better. ESR was getting better. He's not contributed to their betterment or them improving. And I know it might sound bitter me saying this. They were improving with or without him. He actually slowed them down because he took Martinelli and ESR out of the team for ages. So where Martinelli and ESR are right now have nothing to do with him. He's not improved Saka massively. Saka's been improving naturally as he is. Who has he improved? Give me one player.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I do think those players were advancing regardless. And if he's so great at making Saka so great, why doesn't he do the same thing with Pepe? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
Maitland-Niles, why can't you bring a player that's played well under Emery back into the team? Do that with Reece Nelson. Bring him in and make him a moderate player. Do something with these players.
Yeah, if you're so great of a coach. Exactly. I mean, listen, at the moment... Go on, Jez.
Go. No, I was
just going to ask you guys to wrap up. Just literally to wrap up. I mean, Arsenal are currently 4th with 54 points. Tottenham are in 5th place with 51 points. And Man United are 6th with 50 points. So between 6th place and 4th place, there's 4 points in it. It's still up for grabs. And Man United, that a lot of Arsenal fans thought were dead and gone. They're not that far behind us. Tottenham fan, a Tottenham club that looked like they were finished and they were shell of the team that they were under Pochettino. Bobby, where do you think we'll finish at the end of the season? 5th. And what position does this manager need to get to keep his job?
3rd. That's my honest opinion. A competent manager wouldn't have let Aubameyang go this. A competent manager with the players that you'd had, the money that you've had on your transfer window, would take advantage of the most weakened top 4 race in years. Chelsea are in disarray because of financial management. United are not going to be this weak next year because they are going to get a manager. They're looking at Ten Hag. You're not going to have Tottenham if they keep Conte next year. He would have adjusted even better. So this is a once in a very big blue moon that we've had a chance to capitalise. We shouldn't have been accepting top 4. A competent manager would have signed the right players in January, would have kept Aubameyang if you've got nobody else. He doesn't. I don't want to. I know you said final thoughts, but I just don't see how things get better. We cannot sign a big player because they come with big egos. This manager can't manage them. So what we're going to do? Constantly sign the likes of Ben White? It doesn't get better under Arteta. I'll be honest with you. This is as good as it gets. If he gets top 4, fair play to him. He's got us into Champions League. Woo! But realistically, he's no better than that. He can't do anything more than that.
Yeah, I mean, same questions to you, Jez. First of all, where do you think we're going to finish this season?
I'm hoping, I am certainly hoping we'll get fourth, get Champions League. God knows where it will take us. To ask me that prediction, I said on Lee's channel, I'm taking this one game at a time because we've got a long way to go. We've got some tough games, and there are some major banana skins there. You know, going to Palace away, that's a tough game. And Vieira's got them playing some pretty good football. You know, we got Chelsea, Tottenham away. Now, we all know Tottenham away, we haven't won there for 8 years. So that's a tough one. And all right, let's talk about we've got one game in hand. And Spurs are 3 points behind us. So we've got Man United. I know they're not great at the moment, but we've got some slippery games, guys. So I'm not going to make any predictions right now because it could go horribly wrong. We've got a very small squad. Yeah, you get a few injuries in there. Let's get Partey injured, and he's prone to. Yeah. Odegaard pulls a hamstring. Yeah. Oh, top striker Lacazette gets injured. Who the hell have we got?
Yeah.
So just Partey alone.
Let's not gas it up just right because I'm not gonna make any predictions because I don't believe this is the right time to do it because we have got some serious opposition, some tough games, you know, and going to Tottenham is a tough game. Going to Palace away, I've been at many of all them games over the years. They're tough games, and it can go either way.
Yeah,
and we always know that Tottenham.
But Jez, if you're not going to do a prediction, that's cool. Where do you think this manager has to finish to kind of justify him having another season in your eyes?
Well, that's a very good question, my friend. Very good question. At this point in time, my honest opinion, mate, is I don't want him to have another season. But to answer your question, I will give him a period of time. If he gets fourth and he gets in the Champions League, and if he gets us out the group stage, then fair play. But let's be honest. That with him and this current squad, if we don't do major investment, mate, that ain't going to happen, is it? Let's be fair. You know, I'm a realist. You know, I'm not hating, I'm not being horrible, I'm being real. I see fact. I've been around football for so many years, especially with Arsenal Football Club. But if I had the real honest truth, then I don't want him here. I really don't. And if he doesn't, but I'll say this to you. I'll accept this one, right? If we get fourth and he gets us through the group stage round about Christmas time, yeah, then fair play, I'd give him the rest of the season. out of respect for what he's achieved. But that's it.
Right. No, fair enough, man. Fair enough. I mean, at least you're being honest about it, and I appreciate that.
I get what Jez is saying, and I think that's the thing, though. Like, if you delve into it, there isn't a process there that works. Like, later down the line, it doesn't work. You get into the top 4, this manager will get embarrassed in the Premier. He'll get embarrassed in the Premier League. Forget about the Champions League next year when he's got a midweek game to play with, and he'll be getting us knocked out of the cups. Next year, he'll get revealed, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not doing this to be bitter or say anything like that. I'm not trying to be negative. I wish I could look at it and see something within Arteta that tells me that, look, this guy is going to turn it round. People are suddenly going to want to play for him. Who on earth is going to play for him? Like, realistically, unless if you're a lot more money, he's not an enticing manager. He's got the fans split. The only people that like him are the ones that find him attractive. That's it.
No, this guy, Saracen Gooner. I mean, I respect what you're saying, man, but I'm not deluded. I've been around Arsenal. I've seen the great times. I've seen the poor times. But can you please tell me what you? Yeah, he says, can I not see what has changed in 2022? No, I can't. No, I can't, because all I see is Arsenal football club are in 4th place, yeah, with a very tough run at the end of the season, with a manager I don't believe is competent enough to take us any further, with a manager that has got rid of the best striker we've had for the last 3 years, and he continually plays a midfielder in Xhaka, who's a bunch of whatever, and what has improved? And I see this statistic all the time. Oh, he's improved the defence. Really? Yeah, okay. Right. We've conceded less than 8 goals at this time last season. We've got 10 games to go, people. 10 games to go, and we've got to play Chelsea, Tottenham, Man United, yeah, and we've got to play Palace away, who are on fire at the moment. So don't big it up. I've been here so many times at Arsenal, so many times, and I've got to the point. Yeah, I get people saying, "Oh, you're old, just you don't know nothing about Arsenal." Blah 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 blah. Well, I've been around a long time around Arsenal. I've been there, seen it, done it. Got the t-shirt, got the jumper, got the bloody pajamas. So, I don't get gassed up about it. I really don't.
I think Jez is at the point where he sees through the bullshit. That's the honesty. Like, if you've watched football that long and you can see what's working and what's not, you get at that point, I'm guessing, that you just don't see. You can see through the bullshit. And I'll be honest, people might say I'm negative or whatever, but I wish I was positive. I'd much rather, like, one of my mates is a Villa fan and he goes, "Oh, you're negative, you can't see what he's doing." I go, "Mate, look, I can tell you so much about what this manager's ruined about this club." And he goes, "Well, he's only bringing his players in." I don't get that. You never, and I made this comment earlier, you don't give birth to the players. You can't expect to give birth to the players. You've got to work with what you've got. You don't get somebody walk into any club and says, "Oh, I want a full squad of 22 players that I bought in." It doesn't work, does it? Let's be honest.
Totally agree with you, man. It's actually nice to actually. I've never talked to you before. I've never talked to Northside before, but it's actually nice to get a different opinion from people that actually have. And the other guy we had on, whatever his name, I never saw his name. I don't know.
What?
And fair play. He wanted to make a statement. He had true facts. Fair play to him. Can't disrespect that. And I don't ever just disrespect anybody. And there's thousands of people out there that don't agree with me, and that's fine. And I haven't got a problem with it. But tonight's been a great debate. And I've been watching people in the comments, and some people agree, some people don't. That's fine. That's what a debate is all about. If you want to, are that interested, go and watch a government debate. Personally, I don't. But that's what happens. That's what it's about. But the difference you get on a TV debate is you don't get little pricks sitting there slagging people off who haven't got the bother to show their face on camera. And if you've got something to say and you're that passionate about it, if you want to slag me off, slag Northside off, or slag you off, come on fucking camera, show your face, big yourself up, and make yourself look like you actually know what you are. Don't sit there, in your pajamas, with your little doll of Arteta, and a sleeve, come on and be a man up. And that's all that people like Lee Gunner and other shows ask, because that's it. All of us can have a debate. Doesn't mean we're going to fall out of each other. I've had debate. Look, everybody says Lee, Kenny, and I. We have disagreements about it. Not always online, but we have a chat group, and we have a chat sometimes, and we disagree. So it's not. But the difference is what I'm trying to say, Northside, is it's about adults. Adults have an opinion. A lot of these people don't have an opinion because they want to be popular. They like to follow the crowd. They like to follow the sheep. Oh, so and so says it. So, I've got to agree with him. Oh, well, if I don't agree with him, I'm not popular on Twitter. Really, I don't give a fuck. But anyway, it's been a great chat, man. Great chat.
No, thank you very much, Des. Thank you very much. Bobby, you as well, man. And listen,
I say thank you for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure. Nice to meet you, mate, Bobby.
Likewise, Jazz.
And the other fella. And hopefully we can do it again another day.
No. I mean, love Jez for coming on. You're always more than welcome to come on. And it's great, getting your opinion. And man, we loved it. And Bobby, you as well, man. Listen, people always telling me, Bobby, get Bobby on more. The thing is, he's got kids, got a family. Some people, it's hard to fit YouTube in their lifestyle. They've got a lot of responsibilities. I don't have as many as Bobby, which is why I can do a channel. Some people, they've got so many responsibilities, they find it hard even to just be online. And, when it comes to being on my channel or Bobby spending time with his kids, of course, he's going to spend time with his kids, and rightfully so. So I try to get him in whenever he doesn't have the kids. And but listen, love people for showing love to Bobby, and love again to Jez. And Jez, do you have a channel?
No, I don't, mate. No, I'll be honest with you, mate. I ain't got time for it. I just don't have time. Be honest with you. I run a business, so I ain't got time. I just go on Gracie Mays, Del Boys, Lee Gunner, and I'm happy with that. Thing is, I admire guys like you, because you've got to set your channels up. You've got to find new content all the time. Blah blah blah. Get people to come on, have a chat. Blah blah blah. And mate, I just haven't got time for it, to be fair.
Fair enough. You probably don't need it. You don't need all these little kids in the chat. But big up Gracie.
Hey, I tell you what, if I had the time, I'd crucify him. I would absolutely crucify him. But I wouldn't get a lot of followers, to be fair.
Well, this is it, man. But listen, keep being you, Jez, and great stuff. Gracie as well. Love Gracie. Got a lot of time for Gracie. She's a wicked girl, man. Wicked girl. I told her.
Great host. I tell you what, it'd be nice to get on there. I tell you what, Gracie, if she's still there, I don't know if she is. It'd be nice to go on her channel with you, man.
Yeah, man. Anytime.
That'd be great.
Anytime. Anytime. Right. you're just gonna get blocked. I ain't got time for this. Anyway, listen, people, thank you for tuning in. Northside LDN, like I said, trying to raise the standards of this club. Here with my man Jez, supporting Arsenal since 1967. My mum was 1 year old when he started. My mum was 1 year old. You know, you're showing your age, Jez. We would have thought you're 21, but you're there putting since 1967. You're hotting yourself up.
No, if you look up close, mate, I ain't. That's for sure. No.
Listen, you can always find Jez on Lee Gunner's channel, giving his opinions and videos and, you know, doing reviews and player ratings. That's right, isn't it, Jez?
Yeah. Every
Lee Gunner.
Lee Gunners, man. Lee and Kenny and I basically get on there and talk what we talk. And recently, a lot of people don't like it, but there you go. That happens. But anyway, this weekend, Gracie May, bless her, is hosting a quiz night for Lee, Kenny, and I. Now, anybody who's seen the shows where I've done quiz nights, Ken is an encyclopedia of football knowledge. I've never known a man like him. Swear to God. You know, seriously. I did 2 quizzes, and then Lee hosted a quiz for Kenny and I. And mate, he absolutely beat the hell out of me. I mean, and I thought I knew a bit about football, but that guy, he's amazing. And he's Kenny. He's such a lovely man. And Lee, you know, he's a great host. And I don't know why people get the arse and get the ump with Lee, because all he does is speak facts. Simple as. No problem.
Listen, it is what it is. Me, I've got nothing but love for Lee, and for everything he's done for me. So for me, he's always welcome. He knows he's always welcome on the channel. Jez, you're always welcome. Thank you so much. Gracie said, yeah, 100%. Maybe next week, all things Arsenal. Make sure you go subscribe to Gracie May's channel. Find Jez on Lee Gunner's channel, and we're out.